It's week 3 of the NFL, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Eagles and the Commanders coming up next.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about this Commanders team coming into play here today. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Past the 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Eagles. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
Not to take it for granted, but it was business as usual for Terry McLaurin, up over 1,000 yards for the 2nd straight year. Now he gets to work with Carson Wentz in Washington, and may be the best receiver Wentz has had to throw to in his entire 7-year career. That connection yields a first down with that throw.
Wentz now on first down. And he slings one that's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Wentz to throw again. And returns it right back to Samuel. And they'll work this down inside the 30. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Throwing again on second down. Wentz. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. A big game here for Carson Wentz. He mostly got cheers. Some boos smattered in when he was announced before the game, but 35-32-1 was Wentz in his 5 years as the Phillies starter. His best year, and you remember that one, 2017, finished third at MVP voting, but a knee injury ended his season late and opened the door for Nick Foles to carry the Eagles to a Super Bowl title.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on third down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the first down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Carson Wentz, his second touchdown on the season. And the Commanders marching right down the field on their opening drive to take the early lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Now for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts got the green light as a starter from the Philly organization and took really good steps as the next in line of mobile quarterbacks in the city, following names like Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, and Randall Cunningham. He led the team in all quarterbacks in the NFL in rushing, and he took Philadelphia to the postseason while throwing for over 3,000 yards.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. The numbers for Sanders last week, 15 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners. Open
man, that's Devontae Smith. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Another run with Sanders. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's complete to Sanders. And he's got room. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And that, in a nutshell,
shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Hurts. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Got an open man, it's Scott. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Here's Hurts to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Hurts. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. This one from 48 yards away. The kick by Elliott is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And he returns this to the 22. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And this is going to be a Commander's first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. Now, look, that wasn't a huge game, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their runs last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On first down, right back to Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Complete. It's Dotson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Play action. Now Wentz rolling to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out to say, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll drop to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. Hurts finding Goddard there. First down, Philadelphia.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On first down, Hurts. Flush to his right. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
That's a play that'll likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. A give running left, it's Sanders. Fedarian Mathis bringing him down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Sanders. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, and Next Gen Stats says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Throwing now is Wentz. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Wentz. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Back to throw here. Being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. There's Jamin Davis, the former Kentucky Wildcat, bringing the pressure that time. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack. They'll look to throw. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the 1st half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep, and he'll be taken down right around the 27. 1:57 to go in this 1st half on EA Sports. From the gun, it's Hurts. It's caught by Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. And Washington now going to use the 1st of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Aaron Sipos on to punt as he'll get this one away now. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. If you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Clock running as Washington will try and hurry up. On second down, a run with Gibson. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line. Out to his left. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Wentz now on first down. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. From the 38, Wentz. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Wentz now on first down. Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Sly able to put this one through, and that will knot us up at 10. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. Let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And there's not much to speak of in terms of passing efficiency. But in a tie game, they know a few tweaks could make a big difference going forward. Meanwhile, for Washington, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
And in our meeting with the special teams coordinator, we asked him, what's your philosophy on bringing the ball out? Do you give them a red light? Do you keep them in? Green light, let them go? Let's see if he changes from green light to red light after that costly error.
Yeah, you know what I remember from that meeting? He brought donuts.
I like him.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
But he's not happy right now.
No, don't tell everyone how many I have.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. He'll drop to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they picked that one off.
Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10 at their own 16. Here's Gibson to start the drive. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack. Now back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Gibson. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop it before he could get to the marker.
Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They start on the ground here. It's Sanders. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Nice effort defensively there from Cole Holcomb.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Hurts sets up to throw it. And Sanders has got it complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts. That one complete down the field to Smith. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 21. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll get down this time to the 17. Another run here with Sanders. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? An option handoff given to Sanders. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll run for it. Sermon. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Sanders not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. Once again with Sanders. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Hurts. Dancing to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts taking it in from 7 yards away as they have taken the lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Elliott now to add the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
From the 27, Wentz. Out left to Dotson. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run with Gibson, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Gibson again. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Throwing on 2nd down. Wentz over the middle, complete to Samuel. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator is going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Washington on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now Wentz, got to have this one. And he finds McLaurin. And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington 1st down. And an exhale there as they convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down. Trailing in the 4th quarter, they got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done as you noted, and they did.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw into the hands of Turner. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Wentz to throw again. Samuel bringing in this. Oh, no, he lost the football. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. He'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Hurts. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. It's a gain of a yard, and that leads to a Philadelphia 1st.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. It's a second down run with Sanders. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. He's going deep for Brown. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. Over the middle to Smith. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Four yards remain for second down. He'll look to throw. Taken in by Pascal out left. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Looking to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They'll drop to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over. And here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the 6. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So Wentz and the Commanders down by 2 touchdowns. 2:08 on the clock. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Wentz gonna throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They run with Sanders off the option. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll go again with Sanders. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll be brought down here at the 3.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. But 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Philadelphia, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll